Poe's tales of terror have been read by millions, but his fears were very much his own. Edgar Poe was born in 1809 to David and Eliza Poe, traveling actors. His mother was one of the best-known actors on the American stage, but the family lived in poverty. When Edgar was 2, his alcoholic father abandoned the family. His mother, Eliza, was left with nothing but the 2 children. Poverty took its toll. Young Eliza came down with tuberculosis, and after a lengthy disease, she died. Eliza Poe was just 24. Edgar was 3 years old.
In Poe's case, both his parents died early, and his father was an alcoholic and a failure, setting up a kind of pattern that Poe deliberately or unintentionally would follow throughout his life.
Young Edgar is taken in by a wealthy Scotsman in Richmond, Virginia, John Allan. It's a new life, full of luxury. The childless Mrs. Frances Allan takes the boy on as her very own.
The Allans never formally adopted Poe, and he resented that. He always wanted to take over the Allan name. He never felt comfortable with it. We call him Edgar Allan Poe, but he only went so far as to call himself Edgar A. Poe. I mean, suggesting that he both wanted the name, but really felt that it didn't belong to him. It was only after Poe's death that he began to be called Edgar Allan Poe.
Poe's relationship to his foster mother, Frances, was close but short-lived. When Edgar was 20, she died of TB.
Poe began to see himself as a kind of cursed figure, someone who actually brought misfortune on, especially women he loved. And all of this produces in Poe's work a kind of brooding awareness of mortality.
From the beginning, death haunted Poe. His life primed him to understand our most basic emotions, and his writing forces us to face them head-on. At the age of 27, left by his father, bereft by the deaths of his mother and foster mother, Edgar Allan Poe creates his own family. While staying with his aunt in Baltimore, he falls in love with her daughter, Virginia, his first cousin. When they marry, she is 13 years old. Poe worked as a critic and editor to support his new family, but his scathing reviews and erratic behavior created crisis after crisis.
Poe destroyed his own chances again and again for literary opportunities through bad luck, through poor judgment, through unfortunate timing. Again and again in Poe's life, there are moments when Poe seems just on the verge of becoming a truly successful writer in an American sense, and the bottom falls out.
Poe uses the last of his savings to buy a piano for his beloved wife, Virginia. One day, as she performs for her husband and mother, she begins to cough. It's the first sign of a disease that plagued Poe throughout his life and infected all those he loved. Virginia has TB. For the next 5 years, Virginia would waste away from the dreaded disease. The only ray of light was a poem Poe wrote while Virginia lay desperately ill. The Raven. It's a poem about a man's obsession for a love lost to death. It was an immediate success.
The Raven was the first really big hit. It was something like, the Beatles for a song or something. It was enormously catchy. People apparently loved the way it sounded and the way it tripped along, and started imitating it all over the place.
Today, Poe's very name has become synonymous with the Raven. But even Poe's greatest success couldn't rescue him from poverty.
He struggled with poverty throughout his adult life. It's amazing how many of Poe's letters actually include requests for money. He did this again and again to friends. I'm needing $25. Can you possibly spare me some money?
On January 30th, 1847, Edgar Allan Poe's wife, Virginia, died of tuberculosis. She was 24 years old. She died at the same age and of the same disease as Poe's mother.